Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents The Greengrocer, One Man's Manifesto for Corporate Activism, written and read by Richard Walker. To Rebecca. Dear reader, thank you for buying this book, all the proceeds from which will go to the Iceland Foods Charitable Foundation. You are clearly interested in making the world a better place, and every one of us can make a difference. To echo the words recently sent to my wife and me by Sir David Attenborough, congratulations on all you have done to save the planet, and wishing you future success. Richard Walker. Prologue. Time doesn't do refunds. David Hyatt. I'd spent so long avoiding working for the family firm that when my first day came in winter 2012, I was surprisingly nervous. Unusually for me, I was early, reporting for duty as a trainee shelf stacker at Iceland Greenford in West London, store number 1217. I sat waiting in my parked car to avoid the grey, cold morning, staring at the ubiquitous red and orange fascia, wondering why I'd decided to give up my perfectly successful and anonymous property career. 12 months of store training later, I was based in Iceland's hulking brown brick head office on Deeside Industrial Estates in North Wales. Despite now being in my 30s, I still spent too much time being almost apologetic for my presence among the senior leadership team. Confidence was a recurring issue. I hadn't earned the right to be there, unlike everyone else around me. I joined the business because I was the boss's son. The root cause of this crisis of confidence was that as Walker Jr., I had some pretty large shoes to fill. Trying to emulate my dad was sure to end in disaster. So how on earth was I going to make my own mark? 20 years earlier, when I was a kid, I remember talking to my English teacher at school. At one point, we were having some sort of career discussion on what I should do with my life. He told me a quote from a famous writer. The exact words and author I can't even remember, but the sentiment has stayed with me vividly. Given my privilege, ensure I make use of it. Fast forward to January 2020, and I'm ridiculously nervous once again, this time because I'm about to meet my all-time favourite hero, Sir David Attenborough. Like an eager schoolboy, I was overflowing with questions and desperate to garner as much wisdom from the 93-year-old as I possibly could during what was scheduled to be a brief 15-minute encounter at the Wounded Buffalo Sound Studios in Bristol. Was he still optimistic that humanity could save itself? Did he have any regrets? What should I be focusing on in my life? Is running a supermarket trivial when compared to the big issues facing our planet? Attenborough himself had declined the top job at the BBC so that he could focus on what he knew was his life's mission of bringing the wonders of the natural world to as many people as possible. Instead of seeking the status of Director General and being instantly forgotten, he helped change how we see the world. We stood in the small but significant sound recording room, dominated by a giant blank screen. This was where Sir David had watched and narrated Blue Planet 2. Of course, I never did ask the legendary broadcaster and environmentalist those questions. Not only wasn't there the time to do so, but I realised how ridiculous it was to ask anyone else what path I should take. However, the following week, when listening to an interview he was giving to launch the BBC's Our Planet Matters platform, his half-whispered words jumped out of the radio and hit me straight between the eyes. The moment of crisis has come. As if he was reading my mind, Sir David had shown me the way. Introduction. Light.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?